My companion arrives at last. Now then, our journey begins in this dreary little cave. What a surprise, yes? Believe me, it won't be the last. We can speak freely here, but do make it brief. All this natural splendor is just tedious. The father of mysteries, the clockwork god, the tinkerer, and other such banal titles. Sothasil, or Set, is a member of the Dark Elf Tribunal. He reigns over Morrowind as the god of craft and sorcery, the wisest and most reclusive of the three. Ha! No one truly knows Sothasil, not even his hordes of wild-eyed worshippers. I studied with him before his ascent, and even then he defied comprehension. His only true peer was Indoril Nerevar. It's a shame what happened to him. Indeed, Saint Nerevar the Captain, our king and greatest champion for a time. He died, tragically, during a journey to the heart of Red Mountain. It was all very sudden. Some believe his retainer, Dagoth struck the mortal blow. Others... Some believe that Sothasil, Vivek, and Almalexia murdered Nerevar so they could take divine power for themselves. Who's to say what really happened? In any event, Sothasil emerged from the mountain even more inscrutable than before. I think it's irrelevant. The silence of Sothasil may come from a place of grief and deep regret. It might be a side effect of his fierce obsessions, perhaps both. How he became a god is no concern of mine. I respect his knowledge, nothing more. Sothasil hides everything. But more to your point, it's not just a city. It's an incomprehensibly powerful, world-shaping device. I don't leave that sort of thing lying about. Also, Almalexia worries about how it reflects on her divinity. Yes, Seal's fellow tribune. A machine can be studied, and perhaps understood in time. She fears that by reducing their divinity to a machine, Sothasil lessens the mystique of their godhood. To his great credit, Seal largely ignores these concerns. A Daedric artifact. I take a keen interest in all such objects, but this one seems especially significant. You see, nearly everyone who searches for it winds up dead. I suspect that someone or something hid this artifact away in the Clockwork City. Other people are not very clear. I've not lived this long by shying away from dangerous relics. Anyway, if this artifact inspired someone to slaughter scores of mages, it's clearly something worth investigating. Draftier than I remembered. Follow me. Welcome to the dwarven hold of Farm's Arm Shed. Such as it is. Ironic that AM's holy city of Mournhold has Gwemric roots. By rogue ordinators, perhaps? Stay watchful. Sothasil always did admire dwarven industry, albeit quietly. Perhaps that's why he built his city here. This lift will take us to the nethermost depths of the ruin, and to our destination. Come along. On you go. The entrance lies just ahead. You see, just across the ravine, that's our door. So the seal's factotums still remember me. How touching. I'd say prepare yourself, but nothing can prepare you for what's to come. Touch the sphere. Clockwork City awaits. This is not the brass fortress. Someone diverted our passage. Audacious, but foolhardy. When I find them, wait. I feel cold. Back, creature! My shadow! My power! Don't let it escape! Factotums! They're activating! Ready your weapons! I will assist you as best I can! Scrap heaps. My shadow remains close. We must hurry. Swivel swords. Oh, wonderful. I'm in no condition to navigate this maze. Go. Find a way to deactivate these traps. Perhaps I failed to impress the gravity of our situation upon you. If my shadow gets away, we may never escape this place. So if you have something to say, say it quickly. Yes. Perhaps something more. In removing my shadow, our attacker removed some vital part of my animus. My soul, in the common parlance. Without it, my power is severely diminished. Needless to say, this will not do. This may surprise you, but I've never had my shadow ripped from my body. Even so, I will devise a solution. Don't trouble yourself with the finer details. Just be prepared to fight. Much will depend on your ability. Do not fail me. Not yet. We should have translocated directly to the Brass Fortress, Seal's chief municipality here in the Clockwork City. But somehow we ended up here. Vexing. One step at a time, if you please. We need only to find a landmark or map or something. Once I determine where we are, it won't take long to find an exit. Just leave that to me. You focus on these traps. this place now. The pneumatic forge. We should leave as soon as possible. Sotha Seal constructs his clockwork servitors here. The factotums. They reject anyone who doesn't belong. Someone meant for us to die here. Remedial spellcraft is all I can muster, but I will aid you as best I can. Lead on. Defeat this monstrosity, but don't kill it. I must reclaim my power. It's duplicating itself. Beware! Here! Levakrokad Sint Morad! Finally. You never know how much you miss a thing until it tries to kill you. More ridiculous machines? I've had enough of this. still have a long way to go. Behold, the Clockwork City. Finally. Sotherseal's brass fortress waits at the end of this road. We should go there at once. Keen to find out who sent us on that delightful jaunt through the new Martis.
Devate fear. I warned you never to come back. And you, one of Fear's lackeys, I take it.
Luciana Pullo. Hospitable as ever? Go talk to her. I'll not waste my time speaking with a petulant toy soldier.
Hold there, friend of Fear. I am Proctor Luciana Pullo of the Clockwork Apostles. I don't know how you and this egomaniac breached Lord Set's Celestiadrome, but I won't have non-citizens stirring up mischief in the Brass Fortress. Only just arrived and already trying to grease the gears? New arrivals must secure an endorsement from a citizen in good standing. I'm prepared to overlook your atrocious choice in companions if you can find a sponsor. Until then, you are tarnished. That's for you to find out. Not many citizens will risk their reputation on a green-heeled stranger, and you'll find no comfort from me. Maybe you should confer with the other tarnished over there. In the meantime, obey the law. I'll be watching. Tread carefully, Fear. I'll be watching.
Luciana clearly hasn't lost her charming demeanor. Predictable. Ah, yes. Their bizarre sponsorship custom. I forgot about that little wrinkle. As a friend and peer of Sotha Sil, I come and go as I please. I suppose it would be best for you to wait out here. If I need you again, I will find you. I'm not a citizen. And even if I were, I'd not waste time wading through their opaque bureaucracy. You've proven yourself to be more than capable. I have no doubt you'll figure something out. Gain your sponsorship. We will speak again soon. I appreciate your assistance in the pneumatic forge, but for now, our paths must diverge. The artifact we seek will not remain in one place for long. I can ill afford a delay. Navigate this absurd ritual quickly, and I will find you again afterward. One of Sotha Sil's greater lackeys, Chief Proctor. You might have noticed some mild cosmetic flaws. Honestly, I think she's more automaton than flesh and blood. She certainly acts the part. Sil takes all kinds. Imperials, Bretons, even Argonians. Luciana may be one of his oldest servants. She served Emperor Riemann Cyrodiil as a battle mage in her younger years. Made quite a name for herself during the Akaviri invasion. According to the legend, she was caught in a torrent of arcane energy during a battle with a rival mage. It mangled her body and sent her hurtling through the veil. She eventually crashed here. Sil found her shortly thereafter and mended her wounds. Indeed. At first, I thought she served him out of some cheap obligation. Reciprocity for his kindness. But apparently, she really believes in this place. I heard they had a bit of a falling out. She still serves him, though, in her dog-like fashion. People like her rarely are. You see, I present a destabilizing influence. I reject all illusions of authority and thus reject their entire way of life. Hierarchy, ritual, reverence, it's all a sham. I respect power, not absurd social constructs. Yes, a monastic order of sorts. They serve Sotha Sil through magical inquiry. Apostles fancy themselves iconoclasts, who push the boundaries of magical praxis. There's a seed of truth there, I suppose, but they're still obnoxious. You mean, are they all half-metal monstrosities? More or less. Some modify themselves more than others. It's a form of reverence. They want to be more like Sotha Sil. You see, Sil has some peculiar... Well, I'll let you see for yourself. One of Sotha Sil's greater lackeys, Chief Proctor of the Clockwork Apostles. You might have noticed some mild cosmetic flaws. Honestly, I think she's more automaton than flesh and blood. She certainly acts the part. Sil takes all kinds. Imperials, Bretons, even Argonians. Luciana may be one of his oldest servants. She served Emperor Riemann Cyrodiil as a battle mage in her younger years. Made quite a name for herself during the Akaviri invasion.
Another newcomer, eh? Come. I must say, I'm surprised to find another newcomer here at the gate. Entering the city is no mean feat. May I assume that you seek a citizen sponsor? My associates and I find ourselves in a similar predicament. Maybe we can help each other. Initially, I thought we could rely on my ample charms to win us a sponsor. Unfortunately, the people here tend to value craft over the pleasure of my company. Providing some gift or service seems to be the only way to earn a sponsorship. Yes, a clockwork apostle named Varuni Arvel. Apparently, she's a member of the Congress of Calibration, the governing body here in the city. My associates, Kirith and Raynor, are already working on a plan to earn her trust. Will you help us? This promises to be a fruitful collaboration. I tasked Kirith and Raynor with acquiring gifts for Varuni, but they tend to wander. Kirith's just there by the cliff. You should speak with her. In the meantime, I'll conduct more research. Questions? Seeing as you found your own way here, I suppose there's no harm in sharing my own methods. I just learned of a secret cave beneath the city of Mournhold that, until recently, was entirely inaccessible. Can you imagine? Fearing that the Tribunal might seal it again, I set off through the cavern as soon as I could. It pained me to leave my usual cohorts behind, but this duo, Kirith and Raynor, have performed admirably. A pair of dark elf explorers. Like me, they delight in all things mechanical. Their youth and endless sibling rivalries can prove irksome, but what they lack in experience, they more than make up for in enthusiasm. Seeing as you found your own way here, I suppose there's no harm in sharing my own methods. I just learned of a secret cave beneath the city of Mournhold that, until recently, was entirely inaccessible. Can you imagine? Fearing that the Tribunal might...
So that pompous high elf got his hooks in you too, huh? I told my brother Raynor we should go it alone, but any house in an ash storm, right? Speaking of Raynor, he might need your help. Depends on your definition of trouble, I guess. He's down in the ravine, playing with the firepot spiders for some reason. He wouldn't tell me more. Unfortunately, those spiders have a tendency to, you know, explode. Like I said, he didn't want to discuss it. Probably whipped up an automata disrupting spoon twirler or something. He gets like this sometimes. Just check in on him, all right? He's clumsy and those apostles' mechanical limbs look expensive. Thanks for the help. Raynor's smart, but you can't smart a spider to death, you know? Well, Naramo said we needed something to offer this Varuni character, but from what I can tell, she doesn't really need anything. So I asked myself, what do you... Cooked meal, Argonian pottery, or information? Since I'm a terrible cook, and we're worlds away from Black Marsh, I think I'll go with the third thing. This brass fortress is brimming with gossip. I just need to listen for it. Wish me luck.
Sergeant Baldan, this one has the gold you requested. Will you still sponsor me?
I gave you my word, didn't I? Come, cat. We can discuss the specifics in my office.
1,000 blessings, Walker. Lankin has much to offer at the Brass Fortress.
Yes, I'm sure you do.
Ah, greetings. Please don't mind me. Actually, do mind me. I'm conducting an experiment on these firepot spiders, and so far the results have proven explosive. You should probably give this place a wide berth for the time being. Kirith? So you've joined our band of outsiders. Welcome. Now look, I may lack Kirith's natural talent with a blade, but I can accomplish this on my own. Varuni's sure to sponsor us once I deliver this. Who am I kidding? I do need your help. These firepot spiders contain a highly unstable oil-like fluid. The dangers inherent to acquiring it make it very valuable indeed. I discovered a way to prevent the spiders from detonating. But even diffused, they're more than capable of killing me. So you'll do it? Yes, of course! If you attract the spider's attention, I can use this tonal dampener to disarm their ignition coils. Just a simple matter of inverting their threat assessment array and... Sorry. I can get carried away sometimes. Done. One more, and I think we've got it. And that's the last of it. Excellent. Brilliant! We really made short work of those spiders, didn't we? Here, you can carry the oil. Take the oil to Varuni. Miramo said she has an office in the Clockwork Basilica. Hopefully this will be enough to earn a sponsorship. If you don't mind, I'll accompany you to the gate. Can't be too careful out here.
There must be some sort of mistake. I'm not meant to be here.
Your path has been set before you, Auxiliary. I suggest you learn to walk it.
What nonsense are you spouting?
Choice is but chaos. Demands but the selfish needs of those who would follow the motion of lines.
Greetings. Please restrict dangerous experiments to designated areas.
And just as I promised, my assistant arrives. You brought a gift for our sponsor.
Greeting, Auxiliary. Is your friend correct? Did you bring an offering? Fire Patwell. Tremendous. And you managed to keep all 10 fingers. I'm impressed. Thank you. Now, to the matter of your citizenship. You're clearly a capable warrior, but in the Clockwork City, mental precision is of paramount importance. A number of outsiders have gone missing in recent weeks. I fear someone might be abducting them, or worse. But I have no proof. I spoke to your friend Naramo, and he insists you can gather the evidence I need. Succeed, and I'll sponsor you all. Try to keep this inquiry quiet, all right? In the Clockwork City, even a small creak in the gears can draw curious eyes. Provost Varuni Arvel, ranking Disquisitor in the Congress of Calibration. Before you ask, yes, I'm a bit young for such a tenurial position. Fortunately, Lord Set established a true meritocracy here. One day, I'll get a chance to thank him. Bet? No, Lord Set's far too busy. He only recently emerged from seclusion in the Cognitum Centralis. He's addressed the Congress, but I haven't had an opportunity to present myself. You should be thoroughly prepared when you meet a god, right? Of course. Lord Set, known to many as Sotha Seal, is the father of curiosity. By his word, we create, perfect, and overcome. He cares for all of us, just as a clockmaker cares for each gear in spring. Every piece matters, no matter how small. I do a lot of reading. It's all there in the sermons. Some people think he's aloof, callous even. But I disagree. He stands with us in a way that Vivek and Alma Lexia never could. And he'll guide us all to a better world. Very little, which is more problematic than it sounds. Any loose cog can carry out an abduction. It doesn't take a criminal mastermind to throw someone down a drain pipe. What worries me is that none of it was recorded by factotums or sentry coils. We record what happens everywhere. Honestly, I don't know how you exodromals do without. You lose so much in Tamriel. Knowledge, memories, and you must argue incessantly. Everything that happens here is fact, documented and verifiable. Exodromal. Sorry, I forget how strange our words sound to foreign ears. Anyone who enters the Clockwork City from the outside world is known as an exodromal, since they come from beyond the Celestiodrome, the glass sphere you'd call our sky. I know, but secrets are the purview of Lord Set, and Lord Set alone. I have nothing to hide. The sermons tell us that only the disassembled engine can be scrubbed and made clean. Knowledge requires light, openness, collaboration, you see?
So, ready to do a bit of sleuthing? I'm confident that we can find this elusive evidence, but it will require some skullduggery. Breaking and entering, to be specific. Ready for the details? Varuni suspects that someone destroyed city records. But if my study of Dwemer ruins has taught me anything, it's that nothing is ever truly destroyed. You just need to look in the right place. Here, That place is the Depository Documatus. Sneaking into the depository is impossible for us, but Sothasil's clockwork automata enter and exit the structure constantly. I discovered a way to control one such automata, a device known as a skivaton. I'm sure you're duly impressed. No, you are. I will provide technical assistance and keep an eye out for prying eyes, both mechanical and organic. Head to the depository. I'll meet you there, after I've wrapped up matters with our new benefactor. If you have questions, you should ask them now. Once we begin our investigation, we'll have little time to dawdle. As Varuni said, everything here generates a record. From what I gather, those records constantly pass through the Depository Documatus. When you say it like that, it does sound daunting. It's true. The evidence we seek drifts through vast oceans of information. Luckily, these skivatons seem very capable when it comes to sorting and parsing. I guess we'll just have to find out. I equipped the skivaton with a number of key words and concepts to help it sort out extraneous documents. Have some faith. I've extracted information from tonal vaults and Dwemer orreries. Sifting through city records pales in comparison. Honestly, they're not all that dissimilar from the Dwemer devices I usually tinker with. Sothasil clearly learned a great deal from the dwarves. They use an unfamiliar tonal dialect, as it were, but the basic principles remain the same. We will employ a very simple control device. How to explain it? The skivatons send and receive signals from other clockwork automatons constantly. This device allows us to drown out all the noise, making our voices the only sound it hears. As Varuni said, everything here generates a record. From what I gather, those records constantly pass through the Depository Documatus. When you say it like that, it does sound daunting. It's true. The evidence we seek drifts through vast oceans of information. Luckily, these skivatons seem very capable when it comes to sorting and parsing. I guess we'll just have to find out.
As I said before, those tarnished redundants down in the slums are no concern of yours. I've instructed the constabulary to keep a strict eye on them.
Yes, that Constable Baldarn's done an admirable job. Even so, tarnished and exodromals enter the Basilica far too often.
And what of these rumors? Black-robed figures lurking on the edge of the radius?
Honestly, Diwa, settle the boilers, I will never let tarnished or exodromals or mysterious robed ghosts disrupt our work, believe me.
There must be some sort of mistake. I'm not meant to be here.
Your path has been set before you, Auxiliary. I suggest you learn to walk.
How dare you, Kermit? Your mother wanted a better future for you.
Because a factotum with delusions of grandeur told her fortune.
There you are. I prepared the device. All is in readiness. Prepared to see through the eyes of a clockwork automaton? Brilliant. Just activate the skivaton. Place it in the server flume, and I'll instruct you further. Honestly, they're not all that dissimilar from the Dwemer devices I usually tinker with. Sothasil clearly learned a great deal from the dwarves. They use an unfamiliar tonal dialect, as it were, but the basic principles remain the same. Excellent! We have a strong signal. Now, to find Varuni's evidence. Wait! Yes. Go straight, then left. The central depository must be on a different floor. I'm seeing a lot of interference. Proceed carefully. We can't risk damaging the Skiverton's data collector. Expertly done. That grate should lead to the central depository and our evidence. This depository should contain security documents and recordings. Search everywhere. When you find something, use a Skiverton to make a remote copy. That's it! Quickly, Assistant, direct the Skiverton to the exit. Then meet me there to examine the evidence.
How dare you, Khaled? Your mother wanted a better future for you.
Because a factotum with delusions of grandeur told her fortune. Do you really believe that?
She believed it. Why can't you see?
See what? That following the predictions of a deluded machine got my...
Let me see what you found. Yes, I believe these recordings correspond to the dates of the disappearances. There's something more. Look here. The last person to access the records was a BAL-167. Circumstantial at best. We might already have a lead. I shared Varuni's concerns with Kirith shortly after you left the Basilica, and she insisted on looking into the matter herself. She cited Constable Baldon as a person of interest. His office should be southwest of here.
Well? Ah, there you are. Done playing with Naramo's wind-up toys? I think I'm onto something. I did a little asking around. Word is, Constable Baldan will sponsor anyone as long as they can pay. Where they go after he takes their gold, that's anybody's guess. Luckily, we're here to sort it out. Here, take this memory stone. I surveyed the building. Someone left the door to Baldan's storage loft unlocked. It should provide a great view of his office. Climb up there and wait. When I offer a bribe, you record the conversation on that memory stone. Then we've got him. All right, Baldan, I've got your gold. Will you sponsor me for citizenship?
Oh, I'll take your offering. But sponsorship? That's for the living, you tarnished scum.
The living what?
Do it. Well, what are you idling for? Gather up the gold and dump her with the others. We don't want anyone finding our latest visitor.
There you are! Naramo said you'd be around here somewhere. Have you seen Kirith? Is she with you? He what? How could she? We have to rescue her! You don't have any idea where they took her, do you? Yes, of course. I'll get help. Maybe I could even put together some kind of tonal locator. Bah! Not enough time. What would Kirith do? She would investigate. Yes. Talk to the people in Slagtown. They know practically everything about this place. I'll get the others. You hurry off to Slagtown. That's what the locals call the slums in the northeast corner of the fortress. I must admit, I was surprised to find a tenement like that in Sothisil's holy city. Then again, practically everything here has come as a surprise.
How dare you, Khamid? Your mother wanted a better future for you.
Because a factotum with delusions of grandeur told
Oil those ankles and keep walking, Green Heel. This one has nothing to say to you. Feh! You outsiders are all the same. Cutting into the queues, poaching our salvage, sneering and putting on airs. You're no... And so you prove my point. Always trouble, always violence. And poor Saiba is caught in the middle. This on you. Baldan probably threw your friend into the fundament. A maze beneath the city. If you go after her, neither of you will come out again. Well?
Daedric threat detected.
I already told you, you piece of scrap! Ain't no Daedra in Clockwork!
Daedric threat detected in Clockwork City.
Shut your metal trap before I sell you for parts.
Combat initiation on standby.
Threw you in here too, did they? I knew I couldn't be the only one Constable Baldan got the drop on. You're right, we should. And I could, but not yet. I met another one of Baldan's victims, a Khajiit named Lankin. He's been scraping it out down here, but he's no warrior. I told him I'd get him out. Unfortunately, we got separated. That's the spirit. I managed to yank this sword out of a corpse nearby. It's not much, but you don't need a sharp edge to deal with these factotums. Just a heavy swing and a lot of patience. You ready? Let's get moving. Decent hiding place, but no Lankeen. We should keep looking. Another empty camp. Damn. He must be here somewhere.
Maintaining detection state 5. Excess corrosion detected. Maintenance required.
Is that a pot on the stove? Someone was cooking. And recently. We must be close. Finally! Come with us, Lankeen. We're getting you out of here.
Friend Kirith, bright moons above, please, let's leave this dungy place.
Thank goodness! Don't suppose you found anything of interest down there?
Enough! I'm glad to see you weren't lying, Raynor Vanos.
That bastard, Baldan, threw me into the fundament.
Ridiculous. I've never seen this woman in my life.
Liar! You tossed this one in as well!
This Raynor Vanos made some very bold claims. If you have evidence of Constable Baldan's crimes, I suggest you produce it. Huh. You're more resourceful than you look. Little wonder Devaith chose you as his companion. Set knows he needs the help. I'll hold Baldan under guard until I've had an opportunity to review the evidence. As for you, you're free to go.
Luciana, I'd like to ask the Constable a few questions when we return to the Basilica.
Don't trouble yourself, Aruni. You know how persuasive I can be.
I do. That's what worries me.
Do your worst, you tin-legged hag.
Set help you if she does, Constable. That fool has no idea what he's in for. Live uncomfortably and learn, I suppose. Oh, most certainly. Baldan can't have accomplished all this by himself. Erasing records, accessing derelict sections of the fundament. These aren't the acts of a simple mer. Someone helped him. Now it's just a matter of finding out who. I do, one way or another. For now, let's celebrate your achievement. You showed initiative, creativity, bravery, all qualities befitting a servant of Set. You shall have my sponsorship. Of course, each of them played a role in your success, and each of them will share the rewards. Go speak to the Clockwork Registrar in the Chancel of Records. It will add your name to the codices, and you'll be one of us. Again, you have my thanks.
You'll regret this! Mark me, Proctor! You will regret this!
I doubt that. Get this tarnished piece of scrap out of my sight.
Enjoy prison, you scheming brat.
Ah, it seems I arrived just in time.
By the word, I wind the gears. Please state your business or depart. Welcome, potential resident. Please speak your birth name, followed by the name of your sponsor.
Dreaming. Torchbugs. Overturned jar.
Sponsorship confirmed and archived. The light of knowledge, Sotha Seal, welcomes you to the Brass Fortress. Go forth and create.
Well, I'd say that all worked out splendidly. As one journey ends, another begins. I imagine there's much more to discover here in Sotha Sil's Clockwork City. I can finally begin my exploration in earnest. Now that we've earned our citizenship, I can apply for excavation permits, antiquity transportation licenses. Oh dear. Come to think of it, I might not be able to begin for quite some time. They proved useful. Raynor's theories need some work, and Kirith's refusal to listen to reason caused me no small measure of anxiety. But on the whole, satisfactory. Provided that they follow my lead, I might call on them again in the future. I value your service and partnership, Assistant. Please take this as a token of my appreciation. If I understand the bureaucracy correctly, I may be here in the Brass Fortress for a while. Feel free to seek me out, should you require my aid.
There you are. Good. We have much to discuss.
Devaith Fear? Here? It is a true pleasure to meet you.
Yes, I imagine it is. Now be on your way.
Yes. Well, be seeing you, Assistant. Good day, Lord Fear.
Come, we need to talk. So you're a citizen now. Well done. I heard something about a constable tossing people down sewer drains. Even in this shrine to knowledge, drooling idiots bumble their way to power. Ludicrous. Moving on, I require your services once more. It's Sotha Seal. Shortly after you and I parted company, I sought him out to discuss our Daedric artifact. I fear something is askew. His habits, his diction, the timbre of his voice, they've all changed, albeit subtly. Worse. Initially, I dismissed it as boredom, fatigue, or even the first signs of senility. But now, after observing him at length, I can say with certainty, this is not the Sotha Seal I know. There's Daedric mischief here. We will root it out. We will leverage your hard-earned citizenship to make inquiries. First, I will make it known that in light of your recent exploits, I offered to take you on as my aide, an offer you eagerly accepted. As the most powerful mage in the Brass Fortress, I find it difficult to have proper conversations with common folk. They grow silent at my approach, then whisper as I leave. An appropriate, but sadly uninformative, display of deference. Indeed. It's commonly understood that servants grumble about their masters, loudly, to those they consider equals. Ask them about Sotha Seal's recent behavior. I'm confident we'll find something of value tucked away in their churlish complaints. You have questions, of course. Ask what you must. The forces at work here are cunning indeed. Well, you've met Varuni. She's pleasant, without being vapid or boring. Then again, her doe-eyed faith in Sotha Seal turns my stomach. I find religious attachments repulsive. My thoughts on Luciana are... As for Gascoigne... Gascoigne serves as Chancellor. He commands respect, but suffers from the peculiar character flaw of demanding praise at all times. Adulation. A sad fixation indeed. He holds great power, but it's his petty obsessions that make him dangerous. Be wary. Luciana resents my presence, but she's no fool. I go where I please, when I please. An open confrontation between us would likely leave hundreds dead. So do not trouble yourself. She will not stand in the way of our investigation. He is inscrutable, but he's also unflinching. Seal always moves deliberately, quietly, and one step at a time, like clockwork. I have never once seen him divert from his course. Until now. In the short time we've been here, he has twice adjusted city patrol routes and delivered 3 revisions to the fortress charter. Trust me when I say this is unprecedented. Sotha Seal never meddles like this. That's for you to discover. Don't bother speaking with members of the Congress. Varuni's faith in Sotha Seal is unbreakable. Chancellor Gascoigne resents any threat to the status quo. And Luciana, well, let's just say she's been less than helpful.